let's get down to brass tacks. Slasher. Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, ready to rock and roll. It's Slasher Movie Club time. Coriander, what is going on?
Not much. How you doing?
You know, I'm doing all right. I'm ready to talk about a movie. First of all, I think this is going to be a fantastic conversation, but this is a very special movie. It's a beloved movie, but I do think it's a movie that also it's kind of a divide between old school horror fans and maybe the new or newer generation. So we're going to be talking about Carrie from 1976 and whether or not
Mhm.
it's iconic or is it a relic. So that is what we're going to be
Mhm.
talking about tonight on Slasher Movie Club. Real quick in the chat to say hey to you guys. We appreciate you guys coming to hang out with us on Slasher Movie
Yeah.
Club. Mary, what's going on? Good to see
Hey.
you. Hope you are doing well. Kelly is in the house. Hoping everyone has had a great start to their week. Thank you so much, Kelly, and we appreciate you being here tonight. Jado
Mhm.
saying definitely an icon. All right. Well, we got
Nice.
the first shots being fired. Chuck, what's up? Paula, what is up?
Hey.
We've got Richard in the house, RJ himself. Samantha is in the house. What's going on to you,
Nice.
Samantha? And we also and we also got Jason coming in hot with a $5 super chat. Thank thank you so much, brother. And also thank you so much for rejoining the channel memberships. We really appreciate the support. It definitely helps to keep the lights on and going strong. Knight, can you tell me how I can get that sweet Night Watch Zone merch? I need to do some holiday shopping. Appreciate you. Yes, if you guys go
Nice.
if you go to the YouTube page, we do have the links to our other socials and also to our merch store, and we've got tons of stuff. And Jason, I appreciate that. And for some of you guys that have gotten some of the hoodies and things like that as we go into the fall season, everyone is enjoying those things. We got things like mugs, we've got you name it, we've got it. So thank you so much for that reminder, Jason. I appreciate you so very much. All right.
Mhm.
And Samantha asking for a link to our French channel. And Samantha, we will put some of the links in. Of course, you guys know the Lethal Collective. We had our stream earlier on Fate Decided's channel. So definitely make sure that you guys follow Fate and Killjoy Jake. And also making sure that you guys follow our dearly beloved brother, Steven. Follow his
Mhm.
channel if you haven't already at Craven Something Scary. I will be having
Yeah.
his link I will be having his link in every video and live stream that we do from here on out. That's my goal. Of course, we had his link on so much of our content because he was gracious enough to be here, hanging out with us so very much. So
Yeah.
definitely make
He
sure you guys do that.
was. Yep.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Sarah, what is
Hey.
up? And Chuck saying
Hi,
hello to
Chuck.
Coriander.
Hello.
Very cool. So, Coriander, let's start
Yeah.
talking about this. Carrie from
Mm-hmm.
1976, directed by the great Brian De Palma. You
Yeah.
guys in the chat, let us know if you know who Brian De Palma is. He is one of the goats as far as directing, in
Mm-hmm.
all genres, in all genres. But we were lucky to have him in the genre, horror thriller genre,
Yeah,
on
man.
multiple occasions.
Yep.
Coriander, I want to start with you. What's your earliest memory of Carrie?
Oh God. Being a little girl, sleeping over one of my chum's houses just so that I could always watch it. And yeah, because that's the only time I could watch it or
Hmm.
any scary movie.
Hmm.
But yeah, I was probably like, oh my God, in the third grade or so when
Ooh,
I was watching Carrie. Yeah.
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 You
Same
know,
for Halloween 3, but that's
and
another
so
story.
and so that was kind of the way that your horror journey began. Carrie was your first horror
Well,
film.
that and my brother, every Friday the 13th, they would have a Friday the 13th movie on, and he would be watching it in his room. Of course, I couldn't, but I
Yep.
would walk by, and I remember one of those iconic scenes, right? When he's standing on that bus. It's like,
Hmm.
wow, what the hell? It was like,
Yep.
this looks pretty freaking cool. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it was, yeah. All those just started me into this horror
Yeah. I
journey.
mean, I had a similar experience. I mean, I had already started watching horror movies, but I still vividly remember as a kid, just a little bit more than 7 years old, watching it
Mhm.
on a Sunday afternoon in the living room while my dad was kind of hanging out on the couch reading the newspaper. And I just remember being absolutely fixated by this movie. The story alone really grabbed me. And of course, all the horror elements that were a part of it
Mhm.
also pulled me in. Also, knowing that it was a Stephen King adaptation, which by that
Yeah.
point, and I'm talking, the mid '80s, late '80s. I mean, I was a huge fan of Stephen King, so I say all that to say that I had an early interaction with Carrie as well, and I never forgot about it. So this film, to me is so interesting
Mm.
because it is a story about abuse,
Yeah.
isolation, and also,
Bullying.
guilt,
Yeah.
all of these
Mhm.
things. It starts
Yeah.
off and you immediately, Coriander, you immediately see Sissy Spacek in the role of Carrie being absolutely degraded and bullied by
Oh,
her
yeah.
classmates, including the great Nancy Allen right here, who played Chris.
Mhm.
What were you thinking in the beginning of the film as we started to kind of go through those scenes, playing the volleyball and obviously the shower scene? Oh, I think I might have lost you there. You still
Oh,
there? Oh, there you
still
go.
there?
Yep.
Okay. So, for a girl, like I said, when I first saw this movie, 3rd grade, I mean, I was getting bullied myself, so it was almost like you could relate with Carrie, at least for the
Mhm,
girls that were bullied, so
mhm.
yeah, that's how I felt a connection with this movie was, you know, just to
Yeah,
see how she handled it. Not that I would handle it that way, but
right.
yeah, man.
Well, what
Yeah.
was interesting to me is that you saw them, making fun at her, saying, hit the ball to Carrie, she'll blow it. And then next thing you
Mm,
know, it kind of fades right into this scene where they all go into the locker rooms and they're showering. And Sissy Spacek as Carrie, you immediately realize how sheltered of a life that she has because even though she's, obviously in high school, a senior
mhm,
at that, she had no idea about having a period, and that's when she first has her period, and she freaks out, which is I understand that that could happen, but at her age, you would think that she would kind of know about that, and also that her mother
Right?
would have prepared her for that. So it was a really rough scene that you immediately feel bad for this character. Is that how you
Oh,
felt,
yeah.
Coriander?
Oh, totally. Not only that, but it's like, I mean, why didn't the mom, you know what I mean? That makes you question right there. Because we don't know anything about Carrie's mom. Like, what
Hmm.
kind of mom is this to not tell her kid about, the facts of life? And
Yep.
yeah, any little girl that gets it and doesn't know and sees that, of course they're going to have a reaction. Like, well, she's not little, but girls nowadays are starting, fifth, sixth grade, some even younger. So it's like, yeah, crazy that this girl knew nothing about it. So,
Yeah, I mean, she literally thought she was dying, and she was running
yeah,
towards them with blood running all over her, and
which is nasty.
Miss Collins had to come in, the
Mhm,
phys ed teacher, and kind of save her, and then bring her in front of
mhm.
the principal here. And this was a telling
Smack her around a little
scene.
bit before, right? To
Yeah,
snap her out of it.
yeah, she was kinda in hysterics, and,
Mm,
Miss Collins, slapped her and so forth. But even she, a as a character, as good of a character as she doesn't understand how her mother couldn't have prepared Carrie for these types of things, and how sheltered this girl is. And I
mhm.
always thought that this scene also showed how just almost everyone in this girl's life, I mean, we haven't met other people yet, but right now you can even see that even the principal has no care for Carrie, you know what I'm saying? Doesn't
Yeah,
care, was calling her
he's
the
a
wrong name.
yeah, man. It's like, what a dick,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, so she's
Oh,
immediately
Cassie.
put in ice yeah, Cassie
Yeah,
Wright instead of Carrie
yeah.
White. Yeah, and sh
It's like,
and
what?
we also see that was one of the first times that she was able to use her power, because she flipped that
Mhm.
ashtray, and,
Well, second
yeah,
time, right?
right, because the light in the, locker room.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yep, but, you just feel bad for this girl. You really, really do. And she's just totally isolated, even though she's surrounded by tons of people. She's got kids riding their bike around her, calling her creepy Carrie.
Bullying her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everywhere she goes, it's like this poor girl. See, I didn't have it that bad,
Hmm.
but still, bad enough. Any bullying is
Yeah.
bullshit. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Agreed. Real quick, too, in the chat, we got Jerry gifting a membership. Thank you so much, Jerry. We appreciate you.
awesome.
Hope you're doing
Yeah,
well,
bully
brother.
money. Hmm.
Absolutely. Night falls in the house. What's up, brother? Good to see you as well. Hope you've been doing well. And Sarah, thank you so much for putting the link in. Guys, as we were talking
Yeah.
about on Fate's channel, this Friday, we're going to have our celebration of life stream for our beloved friend and brother Stephen from Craven Something Scary at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is up on the channel right now as an upcoming live stream. We hope that each and every one of you can attend and be there to show support for our brother that we
Definitely.
loved so very much.
Yep.
Um, and if you can't attend, please do whatever you can to pass the word around. Share it on all your socials. Hopefully,
Yeah.
every day. I'm going to be posting
Donate
it
if
out
you
every day.
can. Yeah, if you can't make it, donate if you can.
Absolutely. And
You
we'll
know,
have
like
information
we're
on that.
Yeah, like we're all saying, all the proceeds are gonna go towards his daughter and her education. So
Yep.
that's very important. So yes.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for putting that up, Sarah. And if you can put it up a few more times, we'll try to also remind people as other folks come into the chat. Thank you
Hmm.
so very much, Sarah. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, as we get back with what Carrie's dealing with going home,
Yeah.
now we're at one level of feeling bad for this girl, definitely feeling
Mhm.
pity for her. We're about to take a whole step above that and get into like, oh my God, pun intended. She goes home, and we also
Mhm.
we are introduced to Margaret White, who is played by the late great Piper Laurie, the mother of Carrie, who is going to, people's houses to spread the gospel and to quote unquote save their souls. Um, sh-
Right.
she goes to the home of Sue's mother, and Sue was one of the girls who was,
You're telling her to plug it up.
yep, making fun of her in the locker room.
Yep.
This lady is unhinged. Tell me what you thought immediately of Margaret White at this point, Coriander.
Oh man, she kind of reminded me of a lady that would walk around in the next town over and over the bridge, which isn't too far from me. And she was like this, she looked just like her, like long, freaky hair. And you just, that I'm sorry, but you just know that with religion and when you're that deep into it and it brings you to where you're not really in reality.
Yeah.
I want to I want to step easy here. I don't want to
Well,
offend anybody.
it basically
But
could be the
she's
type of thing where you go way past the point of the goodness of it. You know, it's almost
right.
like you're trying to force
Right.
things on people. Um,
Correct. Yeah.
it,
You need to let people make their own choices and
mhm.
what they choose is their choice and not be, well, goodbye and thanks for the money. Not that she was
Yeah.
like that, but just her demeanor was. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, her demeanor totally changed. You know, right now when she first came to Sue's
Yeah.
mother and was talking, she had this big smile. And then the
Hmm.
mother was basically like, well, you know, I've got some things I've got to do, but I would love to donate, you know, to the church and blah blah blah. And you could see, and again, Piper Laurie is fantastic. She was a fantastic actress. So you could totally see her demeanor change and kind of have that look, like you said, of like, oh, you know, you're one of them, you know, those
Hmm.
evildoers and just giving me money to shut me up. Well, I'll take the money, but you know, and she even said,
Yeah.
I hope that one day you find the Lord and something, something, get saved. And
Yeah.
so yeah, she was basically a zealot, you know, and
No, it was something like, "I pray you find Jesus."
yeah, something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you definitely got a sense of what she was like. But
Right.
you know, when you get to the house,
Mhm.
first of all, it is broad daylight. I want you guys to look at this picture.
Mhm.
It is broad daylight outside. It's probably the sunniest day the earth has ever had. And yet, this
You'd think she'd
house,
wanna let God's son in,
well,
right?
there's that. But this house
Right?
is so dark. This house is darker than a cave. Okay?
Mhm.
Like if you've ever seen The Descent, it was more light in The Descent than in this house in
Oh, Kid
Carrie.
Alley now. Come on now.
I'm just saying, man, it is so
Right?
dark
Come
and
on.
creepy in there. And Carrie comes, you know, and the mother comes home and Carrie was waiting for her. And basically the mother gets the phone call about Carrie's incident, you know, in the shower. And you would think that as a mother, she would try to console Carrie, to try to calm her, to love her and so forth. And man, she starts preaching to Carrie and hitting her with the
Mhm.
Bible. She hit her with the Bible, Coriander. Look at
Yep.
Sissy Spacek. She is
Yeah.
totally freaked out and scared. Totally,
Well,
you know?
more like embarrassed and, "Why
Right.
didn't you tell me?" You
Yep.
know? It's like disappointment, and she's like, "I'm an oddball as it is, and you make it
Right.
worse by doing shit like this," you
Yep.
know? So,
Yeah, it was so very sad. You guys in the
yeah.
chat, let us know what you felt at this point in the film, because for me, anyways, I just felt so sad for this girl. Even as a little kid, I could definitely just see that she just had a really, really tough life. Real quick in
Yeah.
the chat too, we got my man Gore in the house. What's up, man? Good to have you
Oh.
here. I know you're a fan of this film, old school all the way, baby. Hope you're doing well, brother. Horribee in the house. What's going on? Saying so sad. Such great storytelling, though, to show how isolated she is. She's so out of
Mm.
touch with the world and reality because she truly has no one. Yep, I
Yep.
absolutely agree. Jerry saying Sissy Spacek did an amazing job with the character. Yes,
She did.
absolutely.
You
There was
know,
a
if you look at all these, even the ones that didn't have leading roles, they did a good job in this
mhm.
movie. Everyone. So all the acting was great.
Agreed. Yep, I absolutely agree with that. Nightfall saying, I will be here Friday for sure. Thank you so much, brother. We appreciate
Yeah.
that. And we definitely will be having an event for our brother. We really will.
Mhm.
Gene in the house. What is up, Gene? Hope you're doing
Hey.
well. Jerry, I feel the same exact way. I
Yep.
miss him too. Oliver, what's up, man? Saying I shared it on Facebook. That's what I'm talking about,
Nice.
Oliver. Please, guys, and I know because I either follow or talk to you guys on different socials. Please, if you could share out the Friday stream, the Craven tribute, we would really appreciate it. This is something that we've spent obviously the last several days trying to put together a lot of moving parts, and I've spoken with the family to try to make sure, everything is situated the right way. So we would hate for anyone to miss it that would want to be there.
Mhm.
Obviously that can happen. But if all of us, on the Night Watch Zone channel, Killjoy Jake, Fate Decided, and
Mhm.
all of you putting out there on social media, I don't think many people won't know about it. So
Right,
we
and
we
not only
appreciate
that,
that,
but
Oliver.
could you imagine, like, with these 3 channels and the donations and how much we could actually, like, raise for his daughter? That
Absolutely.
would be incredible, and I
Absolutely.
know and you all know that he would love that, so,
Absolutely. I mean, it's it's
um
it's what he would have wanted. It really is.
Mhm.
Sarah, thank you for putting the links in there. We appreciate that. And Jason coming in again with a super chat. Thank you so
Mhm.
much, brother. 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits a piece. So he's singing the songs all for the Night Watch Zone. Stand up and say so. Make sure to sub. Hit the like button. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate you so much. He always comes up with the creative stuff. I love it.
Right?
Gore saying, doing great night. Thanks, brother. This film's on another level. It is. I think with this film, and we won't talk, scene for scene, but I did want to touch upon some more stuff. But, I think this film, first of all, Brian De Palma is a fantastic director. Okay. In my mind, that is
Yeah.
fact. Um,
Oh, yeah.
so what he was able to inject into this Stephen King story, I thought was phenomenal. The camera work, I mean, we were just
Mm.
rewatching it to prepare for this, and I've seen it a lot of times since
Yeah.
I was 7.
Yeah.
But I was still
Mhm.
amazed by the artistry, the camera work, the performances. Some things were just so subtle, but they really
Mhm.
held weight, and yeah, man, this movie is special. It really is. You
Mhm.
know, the other things we're talking about though is abuse for Carrie. I mean, look at this room. This isn't even big enough for a baby. Okay. And she was put into this room to pray, to change her sinning ways, as Margaret White, her mother, had said. And just hearing Sissy Spacek in this role screaming, praying and pleading for her mother to not
Mhm.
lock her in there, you can't help but just, it just moves your heartstrings. It really does.
Right?
But the camera work from above, again, Brian De Palma, master of creative camera work, and you really feel like you're in there. So the story is just it's fantastic.
Yeah,
The
and we gotta
lighting,
always talk about that creepy cross, man. I
yes,
mean,
yes,
as a kid, it's like, "Damn, that's the first cross I'd ever seen like that."
yep,
Because I mean, my family, my grandmother, she was religious, so my dad was, so that meant, Sundays, every Sundays, we'd be going to church, and
yep,
it's like I'd never seen a cross look like that. That is some
yeah.
scary ass shit.
Yeah, I mean, the religious imagery it was dark, you know what I mean, and
Mhm.
creepy, and so it
Mm.
really hit everything home. It truly, truly did. Um,
Yeah.
we see the famous scene where she's looking into the mirror and she makes it break. I mean, again, just
Mhm.
some interesting stuff how the mirror shakes. But then in school, we get to find out that she has, a crush on Tommy
Mhm.
Ross, played by William Catt, who has some of the greatest hair in horror movie history. I mean, good
Does he
God.
really? It's kinda like just like blonde frizz, you know?
You weren't a fan of it?
No, not in particular.
Wow, okay. Well, I always thought to myself, man, his hair is even rivaling
And
Amy
it's like,
Irving.
this guy, it's like, how many years did he stay back? He's still in high school? He looks like he's, like, 40.
Well,
you
that's a
know?
whole nother conversation. They
Well,
definitely
I'm just
it's true.
saying.
Yeah, it's true, man. Some of these actors, man, they definitely were, years ahead of where they should have been. But
Right?
but yeah, I mean, his hair, in my opinion, his hair rivaled Amy Irving, and she had some
No
great hair
way. Her
herself.
hair, she's got beautiful hair.
Yeah,
That
okay.
frizz does not compare to her curls. No.
All
Nice
right.
try.
Touche. We
Mhm.
got Jarmello in the house. What's up, man? Good to have you here. Hope you're enjoying the conversation. Saying Carrie felt like a devastating funeral, way too somber
Mm,
yet fun at the same. Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. This movie, and
yeah.
especially for people who have seen it, or have seen it many times, like Coriander and myself. Like I know what's going to happen, but
Mm.
I think some of the magic of this film is that the story pulls you in, like, you really
And
get
not only
invested in the
that,
characters.
but Jarmello, you look like
Mhm,
you're like he looks pretty young. And this is
mhm.
a pretty classic old movie, so good for you for, even giving this movie a chance and hopefully all the other classics because
Yeah,
they're so good.
they
Yeah.
really, really are. Um, and so, we continue down this road where Miss Collins basically is giving it back to the girls that were poking fun at Carrie and being bullies, and,
Mm.
basically says that they have detention and,
That's right, those bitches.
yeah, those bitches were almost like it's
Yeah.
Psycho too, those bitches.
Ugh,
But,
yes.
she's gonna basically put them through the runner, with all these
Mhm.
exercises and so forth, and if they don't do it, their tickets to the prom are revoked. So the senior
Yep.
prom is the leverage, that she has. But at this point, you could really tell that Miss Collins, played by Betty Buckley, who's a fantastic actress as well,
Mhm.
you really got on board with her because she was the type of teacher
She was
that
Team
every teacher
Carrie. Yeah,
yeah,
man.
she was the type of teacher that every teacher should be, is to, you know, look out for the kids, care about the kids, give a shit about the
Mhm.
kids, and if they're being bullied or if there are bullies around, stand in between that,
Yeah.
I mean, kids are always gonna poke fun at each other, but these girls
Right.
went way further than just poking fun. They
Yeah, and
were,
not only
like,
that, I
downright
mean,
jerks.
with the yeah, like, with the teachers, right? It's like, dude, how many of us in real life had, couple of teachers that, were dickheads to us? I know I definitely did in junior high. You
Yeah.
know, I could shout names out, but I'm not gonna be that much of an asshole in my adult life, but yeah, anyway.
All right. Also in the chat, Chuck is saying, "I'll be ready on Friday." Thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. We wanna
Nice.
see everybody there. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm being very transparent, especially when I posted it on my socials, especially Instagram and on my Patreon community posts. I want this to be the biggest thing that any of our channels have ever done, because that's how important, Stephen
He
was to
is.
us.
Yes.
So I just want you guys to understand that, and I know you guys do, but just help us out if you can. If you've got, social
Help his
media
daughter.
like
Yeah,
that, it'll help us.
yeah.
And Sarah, thank you for putting the link up again. Seriously, I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Okay. And Gore also saying De Palma definitely was and is great. He brought that Hitchcock feel long after he was gone. It's true. You look at Sisters, you look at Dress to Kill, and so many other
Mhm.
films, which we have talked about on Slasher Movie.
Sisters, right?
So
Yes.
check it out.
Yeah, now's the time to plug it, right? For you
Yep.
newbies that are watching Slasher Movie Club for the first time, this isn't the first time we've done it. On
Yep.
our other Slasher Movie Club, we have like over 100 episodes and so many good movies, some that a handful that were shit, but most of them you'll be like, wow, this was
Well, if
really good.
well, if it was movies that weren't good, I mean, we never knew until we watched them, and that was the fun of
Right.
it, is that we would
But
watch a movie
if you watch,
blinded.
they would know, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They need to watch, and then
Yeah.
they'll learn why and how we got all these movies.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They
That's
were
alright, we
always
don't wanna
good
give it away.
conversations. Yeah. They were always good conversations, and you guys that were in the live streams with us, it was great stuff. So just to continue
Mhm.
here, we have the showdown with Miss Collins, and of course, Chris, played by the great Nancy Allen, who was the leader of the pack, so to speak. It was
Ugh, the
absolutely
worst bitch of
crazy.
them all.
She really was.
Yeah,
She really
man.
was. Um,
Mm-mm.
and she didn't care, man. She did not care. And of
No,
course,
she
the
was
great Amy Irving, who played Sue Snell, also with some of the greatest hair of all time in horror movies. Um,
yeah.
had a change of heart. That was kind of an interesting character, to be quite honest, because she felt bad about the bullying of Carrie and her being a part of that. So, it was interesting to have a character like that. And of course, it plays a big role as the movie goes on. But once you get to that scene where Chris basically came up to Miss Collins and said, "I'm not doing this anymore. I'm leaving," and she's, "No, you're not," and basically,
Yeah.
does the smack at
Mm,
Chris.
right?
What
She should have
a scene!
punched her. No.
Well, that's not gonna happen, but you know,
Hey, a
um,
slap's just as bad, man.
well, I'm not saying it's not, but I mean, she's not gonna full out punch. You could tell. I will say this too. Betty Buckley was great in that scene because when she smacked Chris, you could tell that she had regret for losing her cool and her temper. And again, these are little things that are happening in the film that you can easily miss out on. I think that that's the fun, at least for me, and I'm sure to some degree it is for you, Coriander. Like I told you when we were watching it, I was geeking out because I was noticing
Mhm.
these little
Be
things,
aware.
these little moments with the actor, their facial expression or the tone in their voice. And it was really
Mhm.
pushing the story ahead. I really was so invested in this watch of Carrie. But she's trying to figure out what's going on with her and how she has these abilities, and she reads about it, that people have something that's called telekinesis and they can move things
Yeah.
with their mind. All the while, Sue is putting the game plan together with Tommy of saying, "I want you to take Carrie to the prom." Now, let me ask you this, Coriander. I know you know this movie is your first horror movie you ever watched, is one of your favorite horror movies ever. But at this point in the story, were
Yeah.
you did you think that Sue was being for real with Tommy? Like that she really wanted to do this for good, or did you think it was more to prank Carrie?
I mean, you could tell that she felt bad. She's nothing
Mhm.
like, whatever the hell. What's her
Chris.
the lead? Yes, thank you. She's nothing like Chris.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I obviously, at this point, I thought she was genuine,
Mhm.
and she didn't back down until he said yes. So,
That's true.
and she's giving up her prom.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
kind of big. I didn't go to my prom, so it'd be really no big thing for me. But for those ladies that did go, I can just imagine, yeah. So yeah.
yeah. I mean, and to just have that type of kindness, it was interesting to see that type of a character because she definitely was part of that crowd in the beginning in the shower scene that was really just traumatizing Carrie. Real quick too in the
Oh
chat,
yeah.
Jason is coming in again. Another $5 super chat, man. You rock.
Yeah.
Thank you. Saying
Yeah.
I'm a messenger of night. You're doomed if you don't shop the Night Watch Zone merch store. This place is cursed. Cursed. It's got a shopping curse. I love it, man. Let's let's do this real quick. Let's do a super chat clip for you. We appreciate the support so much, man. It makes a difference. And Coriander, sometimes you just got to ask yourself a question, and this
Uh-oh.
might be the question that you ask.
Baby, can you dig your man? He's a righteous man. Don't let go.
There he is. There he is. All
Oh
right.
boy.
Jason, much love, man. Thank you so much for
Mhm.
for, for just doing everything you're doing, man. Seriously. Um,
Right?
Also, we got Tia in the house saying, "Hey, y'all, I'm new here, been lurking for a
Right.
while. Well, thank you
Nice.
so much for coming in and saying hi.
Yeah,
We
I'm coming
appreciate that.
forward, right? Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
awesome.
We always appreciate that and having, some new folks just talking here with us and we appreciate
Yeah.
that. Hope you're enjoying the conversation.
Right?
And she said thanks for the gifted membership. So she got the gifted
Oh,
membership.
awesome.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome. Very
that
cool.
is. So you
All
could
right.
join the party Friday.
There you
Join the
go.
party Friday. I don't
Absolutely.
know if you've heard the spiel for the last 34 minutes, but yeah, party Friday.
Party Friday, and it is up on the page. If you look at it for upcoming streams, it is there. And we'll be talking more about it. I'll be talking about it all week too. 7 Up, what's up? Thank you so much, man. We appreciate you. We got
Right?
Lamar in the house as well,
Hey,
who's saying
Omar.
masterpiece. Love this movie. Heck yeah,
It
man. Heck yeah.
is.
So the
Yeah.
plan is being put in motion, and then of course we've got your boy John Travolta. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
just see John Travolta back then and also in the early 80s and so forth. You can't help but smile.
Yeah.
He's pretty much kind of a jerk type of character in this
Oh,
film,
totally. But
although
still,
not
you gotta love him.
you gotta love
Like,
him.
I
Although
don't mind Chris is such a bitch. I can't stand her, but I don't
right,
mind John.
right. I was just about to say he's a jerk, but he's nowhere near the
Mm.
level of jerk that Chris is. So it's
Well, I
almost
mean,
like
he's pretty evil being able to kill that pig with just the way
well,
he did.
that's true.
I couldn't
That's
do
true.
that.
That's true.
So,
That's
yeah,
a good
man.
point. That is a good point, but it was cool seeing John Travolta in there. Tommy
Right?
puts the moves on Carrie and asks her to the prom. She runs
Of
because she is
moves.
so nervous.
Right?
Again, just showing how innocent she is. I mean, look at Sissy Spacek. The
Yeah.
physical, presence here. I mean, she is totally this character. I mean, she is doing great work in her
Hmm.
dialogue, her facial expressions, her physical mannerisms.
Hmm.
Everything is like total control. But you also have scenes like when Miss Collins is telling her, don't don't mope around, you're a nice person, you can be hanging out with your friends, you're a pretty girl yourself, don't sell yourself short. So there are a lot of themes going on in
Hmm.
Carrie, and I think that's what makes it such an interesting film and story to me as well, is that it has so many levels, because it's also speaking to all of us that have maybe been underdogs at some point in our life, especially growing up. And Miss
Yeah.
Collins is kind of like that teacher or that person in our lives that we always wish we could have to like lift us up. Miss Collins is a superhero in this movie. She
She
really, really is.
really is. Yeah.
She is amazing. And she even asks Sue and Tommy, like, what's going on, guys? Carrie told me that Tommy asked her out to the prom. What are you guys doing? Are you trying to, trick her? This is not cool. And they tell her, or Sue tells her, I just wanted to do something nice for Carrie. Like, this is
Yep.
1976, right? Like,
Yep.
what a nice concept. I just wanted to do something nice for her because, she had been bullied and I was even a part of that and it was wrong. That's just awesome,
Yeah.
you know?
Right?
I mean, it really is. So that's kind of the setup. And then of course, Tommy goes to Carrie's house right at the
Yeah.
door. She won't let him in. He's like, I'm not going to leave until you say yes. And he kind of just forces her hand because Margaret, the mother, was going to find out what was going on and come to the door. And Carrie didn't want her to see Tommy at the door. So she was like, okay, I'll go, and slams the door
Yeah.
on his face. What did you think of that scene? I just thought, again, it was just cute. There was a cuteness and
It was,
innocence
but
to Carrie.
sad that she had to be like that because of her mother.
True. Yeah. Yeah. Her mom, whew, a
Hmm.
terror, an absolute terror. Real quick, too, in the
Yeah.
chat, Jason is not done, man. Jason is on a roll, coming in again, brother. Thank you. The two greatest YouTube streams of all time. Craven's The People versus Stu Macher and The Night Watch Zone, the best 80s, 90s cartoons ever. That was a fun stream. It really was. I still remember that. And of course, yes, The People versus Stu. That truly was an epic, epic event. And my man Steven worked so hard on that for months. We literally had meetings with everybody that was involved. That's how serious he took it. That's how much he wanted to make it something that had never been done before. And I had never seen anything like it, and I haven't seen anything like it since. So
And there never will be anything like it.
never will be. It was so much fun.
That's
And
right.
my man Steven, I'm telling you, special,
Yep.
special dude. Uh,
Talented in many ways.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. You're welcome, Jason. And Tia said, "Did Sue do that out of atonement?" Yeah, she definitely was she felt bad. She was actually one of those characters that you don't see a lot in horror. She felt bad for the shitty stuff that she did,
She
and
did, yeah.
she was trying to make amends. So, um, kudos to her.
Right?
A great role model. In 1976, it was
Yep.
great. So as we start to head into the second act of the film, barreling to the finale, we have the
Mhm.
scene where we see John Travolta as oh my god, I forgot his name. What was his name in this? Chris was saying it.
Billy Nolan.
Billy Nolan, that's right. Good for you, girl. Um,
Thanks, man.
they're gonna kill the pigs, man. Now we don't know
Yeah.
exactly why yet, but they went to this place with a bunch of pigs, and he basically was hitting them with a sledgehammer. And of course, Chris is like, "Do it, do it." Do it."
Yeah.
She's just evil. Nancy
She
Allen was
is.
so evil. My
Mhm.
God. But he does it. He does it, and we still don't know why. And here we are at the cave, the Bat Cave, which is also known as Carrie's house. Look
The
at
Last
this.
Supper.
It
Mhm.
truly is. Look at this.
I
I mean,
know.
we got candles, bro.
Mhm.
Margaret White needs to invest in some lights, bro. Because look at this house. It's creeping me out just looking at this picture. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't mind getting a power bill.
Well, that's true. That is true. Um, Lamar saying, "I never get the gifted memberships." I know it's so random
Uh,
how they're given out,
yeah.
but don't worry, they do get gifted out pretty
Show up
randomly.
in the streams and you know what? You'll get one.
Yeah, eventually you will. It seems like everyone does at some point. So
Yeah.
hang in there.
I even
Hang in
did.
there.
It's like, how the hell did that happen? I was
Yeah,
like in
it
it
just
for a
happens.
second.
Yeah,
It's true. It's like, holy.
yeah. Gore saying that definitely Sue was doing that out of atonement. She just wasn't prepared for her man to dig on Carrie like he did, which of course that's an interesting
Mm.
part that that we definitely want to touch upon because I really noticed a lot in those moments. So we'll definitely get to that as well. And thank you so much, Sarah. Just still working hard. Um, it's Sarah's just working so hard. Thank you so much. Um, but she tells her mom, "Hey, I'm going to the prom." The mom is like, "No, you can't do it. They're all gonna laugh at you." That the most
Right?
one of the most
You
famous
know it.
quotes. They're all gonna laugh at you.
Mhm.
Again, shout
Mhm.
out to the late great Piper Laurie. But Carrie, this is the moment where she stands up for herself. Coriander, don't you think so? She's basically like, "I'm gonna go.
Oh
Things are
God,
gonna
yeah.
change around here." What did you think of this
But
scene? How she did that?
uh, I mean, it was good for her to stand up to her mom, but
Mhm.
for her to do it the way she did, obviously, is what, was her demise also because
Mm.
after that, if you watch her mom is totally different towards her, even worse.
Yes.
And yeah, it's not a good situation.
Yeah, you're right. Good point. But we have dark moments like this, and then Brian De Palma is actually able to balance light
Yeah.
moments like this when the
Right.
guys are going out to, get a
But they're
tux. and
tuxes, right?
and look, guys, I'm just going to tell you right now, if you are not the type of horror fan that really digs the old school films like this, I'm telling you guys, you're missing out because there is a cool charm to these films. It's like a time capsule. I mean, obviously, this is
Definitely.
before our time, I mean, but I can appreciate it and look back on it and just see a different time period. And these three guys getting ready for the prom. It was a really cute scene, and it really kind of balanced out all the darkness that we had seen. And Carrie's getting ready for the prom, and look at this. I mean, she basically is using her power because the mother
Yeah.
wasn't going to let her go, and the mother
Yeah.
was ripping out her hair, trying to do anything to distract Carrie, and Carrie pushed her on the
Right?
bed with her power twice.
Mhm.
Just freaky stuff. Um, and it freaks me out even thinking about it because there's that part of you, just like you just said, where it's good for her to stand up for herself, but at the same time, the way that she did it, it was like this
Makes
was
her
kind of the
mom think
downfall.
she's the devil. Yeah, she's, the devil's
Yes.
spawn.
Yes, 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 absolutely. Um, and there was a quote that Margaret had said that I never really caught until this time watching it. There was total foreshadowing. She said,
Mhm,
"Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live." Basically calling her a witch and giving us her
mhm,
what her intentions are. Fantastic stuff. Laying the breadcrumbs
mhm.
out right in front of us. This is great storytelling, guys, and in my opinion. And then we get to the prom. I said this to Coriander, and I'm going to get your opinion in a moment. This is one of the sweetest um, and coolest prom scenes or dance scenes to me, obviously in horror movies, but that I can even think of overall, because you've got this girl so sheltered. She's come in there with the boy of her dreams, and he's actually treating her nice, like they're smiling, and she's learning how to smile, and all these things, and a couple of people are being nice to her. This is stuff she's never experienced, guys.
Mhm.
I mean, I think most people, even underdogs, can at least point to a couple of folks that were nice to them in their lives, even if it's just family members or a neighbor or something. This is a girl that literally had like maybe two
Yeah,
people that we've seen in the film that were even remotely nice to her, and one of them is a teacher.
right?
So,
Yeah.
just them sitting here and so innocent. What did you think of this, Coriander? I mean, this is way before the shit hits the fan, literally.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this is like what you think every prom would be, you know? Some boy and girls first dances together, some dances, the first dance ever. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it was good. They didn't I don't know, they didn't overdo it and they didn't,
Right.
they did it just right, you know.
Mm.
David De Palma, he knew what he was doing.
That is a great point. They didn't overdo it. It
Mm,
wasn't cheesy. It was really
mhm.
it felt real.
What you
Like,
think exactly what a high school back then would be like, you know?
yes. Yes.
Even with the bands, I could
Mhm.
totally picture that happening.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And in this scene right here, when he got her to dance, she didn't want to dance at first. And he just said, "Come on, you can do it. And put your hand
Mhm,
here, hold my hand, blah, blah." And we just move, relax, and blah, blah. And she, just to show that she's still smart, like she's totally introverted, sheltered, and so forth, but she's not dumb. She's still intelligent. And she literally asked him, "Why am I here?" And he's like, "Well, because I wanted to take you to the prom. But why did you ask me?" And, he kind of says, his part of his spiel, like, I think, like, obviously he was
'cause he
doing this
liked
because
his he said, "It's because you liked my poem."
yes, and obviously
Yeah.
he's here because Sue asked him, and I think, and
Mhm,
deep down he wanted to do a nice thing as well, but I really think this was a moment, and I wrote this down. There's a point when she said, "But why?" And he says, "I like it. I really do like it." And he smiled. It was right before this picture here, and
mhm,
to me, it felt like, okay, that's when he's fully 100% on board. He's having fun with Carrie. He's enjoying
mhm,
being with Carrie. He kissed her, and now it's like it's real. Like he's really
mhm,
found, that special thing within her. And I thought to myself, that's so cool to see that
mhm.
magic, so to speak. And she
Well,
was
her
just
innocence,
glowing.
'cause she was,
Yeah.
she was innocent up until, that damn curse hit her in the shower,
Yes.
but
Right.
yeah, man. But she's still innocent, you know what I mean?
She is. Yeah.
She is, and yeah,
Absolutely.
that makes you feel even, worse for this poor girl because it's
It
like,
does.
she finally had a moment where this is something I'm gonna remember for the rest of my life,
Right.
and that fucking bitch had to take it
Well,
away
we'll
from her.
Well, and we'll get to that. Why do you always
That's
jump
all I'm
ahead, man?
saying. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Real quick, Lamar's saying, Bill's been killing me. I hear you, man. Joe said hi. He had a wonderful birthday. Well, tell Joe we said hi
Oh, that's
too,
awesome.
and hope that he
Yeah,
really, really continues to live in that glow of an awesome birthday. I really, really do. Thank you so
right?
much, man. Gore said Miss Collins feels Carrie. I think she experienced some bullying in her youth. I think so too. And she connected with Carrie in a way that it felt authentic. She really cared about this kid, and you could feel that. David also a fan of this movie. It's so good to see that, guys. It's so good to see that, because
Definitely.
I think that it just shows how this story was, um, just so powerful. So powerful.
Not only that, it's gonna be one of those movies that'll last forever. It's timeless.
I think so
It's
too,
just that
because
good.
it's
Mhm.
just such a well done film.
It's got everything. It's
And
got
everything is in
the
it.
yin and yang balance.
Absolutely. And real quick too, in the chat, we got Jason. Jason is working hard. He just Jason, thank you so much. He just upgraded to the movie fanatic level. Thank you so much, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
Jeez, man. We
Yeah,
appreciate
Willy
you, man.
Winnie. Mhm.
Seriously, that helps us so much. Wow. Thank
It's
you.
glad to have you back too. I
It
mean,
is.
Phantasm buddy here. Come
That's
on.
right. I was just wearing the
Yeah.
t-shirt the other night, buddy. I was wearing it the other night. I still got it. Scott's in the
Right. Hey,
house.
Scott.
Good to see you, Scott. And
Right?
seriously, Jason, we appreciate you.
Definitely.
Seriously. All
Mhm.
right. So as we continued this point of the film, it's just sweet. I mean, look at the smile. Like Sissy Spacek
Mhm.
was able to do so much with her physicality. Like you truly believe she's having the time of her life right now. And of course, part of it was, Chris is setting up this big prank. We don't know, or at the time we didn't know fully what was going on, but we saw her and Billy setting up that bucket overhead and also rigging the votes for the prom queen and king. And so
Mhm.
you just know it's going to be bad news. If you had never seen the film, you just know the look on, like, Sissy Spacek is glowing. Like,
Mhm.
as she was walking up to the stage because they won, um, it was just so sweet, and the music was just pulling at your heartstrings. And of course, knowing the film as we do, Brian De Palma had to do that. You had to be all in at this prom for the ending or for the finale coming up to work. You
Yeah.
had to have that total flip. And of course, after they're up on stage and saying, and I even noticed she mouthed the word thank you a few times. I never really noticed
Yeah.
that before. I was
Yeah.
noticing little things, guys. I've been watching this movie since I was 7 or 8 years old. Okay, decades, bro, and I'm still learning, from this movie. But of course, Sue and Amy Irving, again, some great acting. She didn't have a hell of a lot that she did in this film, but she was kind of focal because of her kindness.
Right.
But she sees the rope being
Yeah.
pulled, and she's looking around, and Brian De Palma's got the camera on her, like in this slow-mo, and she realizes that someone is underneath the stage with a rope, holding a rope, and she goes over to it and sees Billy and
Mhm.
Chris underneath, and Sue starts freaking out. I mean, of course, there's so much commotion, and Miss Collins comes over thinking, "Hey, you're not gonna interrupt Carrie's moment. I'm gonna take you out of
Mhm.
here." In other words, irony is such a huge thing at this point because Sue might have been able to stop it. But of
Right.
course, Miss Collins interfered. And oh my God, everything that happens next, you guys know what happens. The blood comes down. Guys, I'm telling you, I've seen this movie a lot of times and I'm still feeling the emotions of it. Coriander, what about you? What were your emotions leading up to right before the blood comes down, and then of course when it does?
Well, it's like, here we go, game on.
Hmm.
Shit's gonna go down. And it
Yeah,
sure does.
it really does. I
Starts with
mean,
those doors. Once those
I,
doors get slammed shut and that fire hose,
I mean,
is
look,
busted, that glass is broken and
but hold on, but
yeah.
even before that, when she first gets the blood on her, her head is kind of tilted back, so when the camera's on
Mhm.
her, you don't see her eyes, and then her head comes down, and it's almost like Sissy Spacek literally transformed into another
Oh,
being.
not only that, but in a totally another prom because
Yeah,
she was seeing people all laughing at her when most of those people were not laughing.
right.
So
Good
she
point.
was already like in that alternate plane of,
Yeah.
as I said, game on,
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
almost like all of that trauma just hit her at once.
Yeah,
Um, who knows? That could have been part of maybe her
that was the
powers
last straw.
back backfiring on her or something because she was even seeing Miss Collins laughing at her, and Miss Collins
Mm.
would never laugh at
She
her,
just
and
snapped, man.
it
I
totally
mean,
was a
out of
snap.
yeah, I mean, it this was the last one that it broke her,
Yeah,
literally,
it really did.
Yeah.
Real quick before we finish up here, Lamar saying, "I'm great. Night, hard year, lost everything, was homeless. Now God has got me back on my feet. Life hit me hard when my dad died." Well, man, look, we're so glad that
I'm
you're
glad you're
here
back on your feet.
and that you're
Yeah.
back on your feet, man. Seriously, we appreciate you being
Mhm.
here. Seriously, much love,
Right?
much love. Um, let's see. David also here said, "Man, I miss you guys. Having a horrible mental day." Well, we're glad you're here,
Well,
David.
we're glad you're here, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've always said this, I think that the beautiful thing about having, a channel and also having a community and folks that
Yeah.
kind of hang out together on a regular basis that we can kind of lean on each other. And I think that that's
Yeah.
a special
Help
thing.
you through these hard times, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
All of you guys in the chat, leaning on each other and we're able to kind of take a moment, a few minutes or whatever in a live stream and hang out, and hopefully bring a little light to your day. It's a special
Yeah.
thing. It's a really special thing. And even for our folks,
Yes.
like Tia, who's newer here, just saying, glad you're here to David. I mean, you guys, seriously, you guys are awesome. And that's one of the best
Right?
things about doing this, you
It
know.
really is. It really
Yeah,
is.
it really, really is. But hang in there, David. We're here for you. We really are.
Yep. We're
And
all
David
here.
saying Carrie is an awesome movie.
Yeah.
It is. I don't want to jump
It
ahead, but
is.
it is. Yep.
Right.
Yep. Real quick too, let me just get back here. Chuck saying it's awesome movie too. Absolutely.
It
She
is.
totally transformed. I mean, look at
Yeah.
these images, guys. This is horror movie shit right here. She just looks so different than she has in the whole movie. She has like three or
Yep.
four different looks, man. The look where she was just like totally bullied and mousy. She has that
This
look
is
where
the
she's
worst Goog look, though. Like, really, her eyes look like they're gonna pop out of her head,
They do, and she holds
right?
that look. She
Yeah.
really does, man. I was just look when as a kid, when I saw this, okay, I remember it was on that Sunday morning or afternoon. She
Mhm.
scared me. And maybe it was because of the fact that I just knew shit was gonna go down. Look at her, even like her jawline, like she was the perfect person to play this movie because she has a face that can be both
Her
things.
nose too, I mean, it's bony and
It's angular.
it's
Yeah.
like it looks almost skeletal, like, in that
Yeah.
frame, it's just creepy.
Yeah, that's a good way to word it. It looks almost skeletal because she's such a thin
Mm,
lady. But look at this. When
yeah.
she looks
I mean, you
down,
could see her
bro,
ribs up
listen,
in the V part of her dress.
listen,
It's
I'm
like,
gonna
look
tell
at
you
her
what.
ribs, that's gross, yeah.
If this is not horror, I don't know what is because it is some
Yeah.
scary stuff. And again, shout out to Brian De Palma using the split screen, which of
Mhm.
course, he was
And the red
inspired by
light.
The Red Light. He was inspired by Hitchcock. He did this in Sisters.
Yes, he
It's
did.
just fantastic storytelling. The fire comes out behind her because the water
Mhm.
hose that she was controlling hit the lights above. Great framing of Carrie as well. These are great images and moments in the film that still hold up, guys. We're talking about 50 years, bro. That's
Mhm.
that's how good this movie is. Um,
Mhm.
the scene where Chris, once she basically kills
Yeah.
everyone in the gymnasium, at the prom, including Miss Collins, that was
Right.
sad. What did you think of that?
Miss Collins?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, because she was helping Carrie, she was happy for her. They had that moment at the prom, and she was even yelling before, "Carrie, no!" And,
yeah,
yeah, man,
yep,
there's no hope for
absolutely.
her. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
it's
no hope for
true.
any of them,
For any
you
of them.
know?
It's true.
Mhm.
like everyone got aced out, and even PJ Souls,
Mhm.
she got injured in the film because when the water hose had that had hit her in the ear or whatever. And yeah, so this is back
Ruptured
in
her
the day.
eardrum. Yeah,
Ruptured,
man.
that's right. So seeing Miss Collins getting killed was really
Mhm.
something. And of course, Chris and Billy,
Yeah.
they were outside of the room, so when it locked up, they were
Yeah.
free to escape and they were alive. But instead of just calling it
Ugh.
a day,
This is, like, one of the worst scenes also,
yeah,
because 'cause you've
because they're
got
trying to
that.
run her over.
Well, not only that, but it's like, dude, you got that beautiful muscle car that you're just gonna flip and
Right.
fucking blow up. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, you should have just made it so that those 2 were rejected and the car landed on its wheels
Oh,
and
jeez.
they just spontaneously combusted. You
Well,
know?
well, that's a whole
That
nother
would have been
story.
better.
But,
Cause that
they're
car,
trying.
man, oof.
All right, man. Look, they're trying to run her over with the car, and she just turns and gives that look, and that's when it
And
flips. And
and the
then,
posture, right? The posture that she was in, you talk about a witch.
yeah,
She totally looked witch-like there when
she
she's
did.
turning and the way her body she was holding her body, yeah.
Good point. Good
Yeah.
point. And then she looks and she just makes the car freaking explode. It was just, it's
Yep.
iconic. This shot right here is iconic. But guess
Tragic. I
what?
shed a tear. Oh, that car.
All
Yes.
right, all right. Look, but here's the thing to me.
Yeah.
It's not over. That's the thing that freaks me out.
No,
It's not over. Even as
it's
a
just
kid, I'm like, "Well, wait a
begun.
minute. Yeah, we still got like another 15 minutes." A lot of people, they talk about the
Right.
prom scene, but there's still 15 minutes of some tragic stuff that happens after that. And before
Yeah.
we get to that real quick, Tia saying it as a kid, Carrie was one of my first intros into the horror genre. Absolutely.
Good
It's
for
just
you,
fantastic.
Tia.
Yep. And
Same for me,
Samantha,
girl.
Samantha, this is Coriander's channel. It is absolutely.
Yes,
Pays
I am
in
a
the chat.
yeah.
Um, and thank you, Sarah, for still putting in the links. If you guys haven't checked out our Patreon, check it out. We've got a chat feature where we can talk really easily, and I can communicate with you guys. And we also have some really cool live streams and exclusive stuff that we do. We're going to be doing some more watch parties and stuff like that as well. And Sarah,
Mhm.
thank you also for shouting out Lamar. We appreciate you guys just,
Yeah.
being cool with each other.
Right.
Uh,
And, one of Lamar's favorite movies is a movie that is very suitable for this holiday, and that is, uh,
Kingdom
Kingdom
of the
of
Spiders.
the Spiders.
That's
That's
right.
right.
That's right.
That's right.
That's
Good
an
movie. We had
oldie.
a watch party to that. Yep.
That's an oldie that we did. Absolutely. Hollywood guy coming
Yep.
in with a channel member anniversary. 24 months. We hit 2 years, man. That's awesome.
Nice.
Very cool. Saying, hey guys,
Nice.
this is my favorite horror movie. Well, one of them. The sequel was no good. Absolutely. We agree with that, man. But thank you so much for the support and always being here and interacting and being
Mhm.
positive, man. Seriously, we appreciate you so much, brother. Sarah's got the link in again for our tribute stream this Friday at
Yes.
7:30.
Yep.
Please, guys, make sure that you're there. Wrestling God in the house saying, hey, what's going on,
Hey.
man? Hope you're doing well. We got double feature in the house. What is up? Saying,
Nice.
hey, Knight, love Carrie, one of our favorite films. See, that's why y'all are cool. This has to be, a favorite film, and especially for
Yeah.
folks that have been into horror for a long time. You've got
Yeah.
to find,
Kinda
you
like
gotta.
our age. You gotta say that, babe.
Well, no,
Kinda
not
like
even
our
just that.
age.
Well, no, 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 because I think even
Well,
if
even the
you're
youngins, but
but well, no, I don't well, that's why I wanted to do this talk, is for
yeah,
the youngins. But I mean, but even for people that grew up, let's say in the 90s, I
yeah.
think this is still a film that is one of the ones you should find and just try to appreciate, and you should appreciate it. So it's
Mhm.
just that good. But as we get to the end of the film, she comes home after, wrecking the town.
Mm.
Look at this picture, guys. She goes upstairs to take a bath, washing all the blood off of her. Look who's in the corner, bro. Is this not creepy shit? Margaret is right behind the door, like
Really? You're doing
pulling
this
a ninja.
first? I'm
What do you
surprised
mean?
you're not mentioning something else.
What do we need to mention first?
Well, I'm surprised you're not like, I mean, when she walks into the house and there's all those candles
Oh
lit,
my god, yeah, listen, it's like
it's
80,000
crazy.
candles. I never knew that more candles
Oh,
could be lit
man.
than we saw in Halloween H2O, but
She
this
had, like,
film
2
tried
hours,
to
right? Maybe 3, who knows how long the prom
Oh
lasted.
my g it's like
Well,
50
probably 2.
candles. Double
Yeah.
feature, definitely powerful scene. Sissy did a great job. I totally agree. But, you
Yeah.
know, she's sad. Her mother was right, and that's the
Yeah.
weird part. And when we see the mother turn on Carrie and it's playing
Mhm.
that music, I'm not gonna try to
Yeah.
imitate it because I can't, but that music is so creepy. And as a
It is.
kid, and even right now as a grown ass man, it still creeps me out.
It's
It
really good,
still
yeah.
creeps
It's
me
so
out.
effective. It is. It's
And the
really good.
fact that her mother stabbed her and Carrie falls down
Mhm.
the stairs and her mother is
Yeah.
coming after her, it's like this is like that, it's almost like that extra finale that's going on. I mean, it was so
Right, and the
scary.
fact not only that, but she's like, "I shoulda, what, killed you in the womb," or something like
Yes.
that, or
Yes.
it's like, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, what any type of woman who could say that to their child, yeah. She shouldn't have had that child, let me just say
Yeah.
that. That's just nuts.
Agreed,
But,
and
yeah.
and Tia knows what I'm talking about in H2O. Forgot about those candles. That's right, it was ridiculous. You do not light that many candles, it's not
Oh my
even
god.
possible. Double feature saying Margaret White was so menacing, she terrified me. There's no doubt about that. No
Right.
doubt at all. She was fantastic. Piper Laurie was such a menace. But we get to the
Mhm.
scene where she's coming at Carrie with the knife to kill Carrie.
Yeah.
Carrie uses her powers and basically launches everything with a sharp edge at her mother. And then of
Mhm.
course, again, Brian De Palma, there's so much poetry in his movies, and this obviously is a callback to the crucifix with Jesus on it, because the mother is in the same position with the same wounds
Yeah,
as that
the
crucifix,
knives. Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
it's just so creepy. But
But in a
this
way, it suits this scene because
Oh yeah.
her mother put her in that closet, all of her life.
Oh yeah.
Could you imagine the first time when she was probably, where she could walk or maybe barely speak or something, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, who knows how long she's been torturing this poor kid with that
It
closet.
I know. It is. I mean, obviously you hear of bullying and abuse and so
Mm,
forth, but when you're watching it in a movie that you're, connecting to or whatever, it just seems
mhm.
so much more real in a way, which is odd to say for a movie, but that's how good this movie is, because it really touches your heart, because you feel bad for this girl. But here's the part that's even crazier. She basically kills her mother, and
Right.
then it's like she's looking at her and she kind of has this moment where she freaks out. She takes the knife out of her mom's hand so that she can be, she can kind of come down, and she pulls her mom, hugging her. And then the house starts to crumble. The house starts to shake and crumble. The
Yeah.
candles go up in flames, and she's pulling her mother into the closet,
Mhm.
and it's kind of poetic, but so sad. And to me, the thing that comes to my mind is that she lost control of her powers. She was overwhelmed by the anger, grief, guilt, sadness, and so forth, and she lost control of her powers, and the house is just collapsing in on her.
Oh,
What did
yeah.
you think? What did you think about this ending?
Yeah,
What did you think it was? Did you think that's what it was, Coriander?
you know, I don't think it's not like when she was in the gym, right? And she
Yeah,
knew she was in control. She knew what was going on. It's
right.
almost like when she pulled that first pull and her mother went free.
Yeah.
It's almost like that was almost like you snapped that, you know, uh foundation of the house that kept it up,
Ooh, that's a
because
ooh.
yeah, because once that
Good.
happened, it started crumbling. So
Wow. I never thought of it that way. You're right. It's almost like the house was her mother's domain in a way. So once she kind of took the knife out of her mother's hand so that her mother could kind of come down from that position, it's almost like you said, the
she
foundation of the
cracked
house
that
is gone.
foundation. Yeah, man.
Hey, look, can I just let me put us on this thing real quick. You're all right. Guys, I want to say something, and I know this, yeah, and hopefully you guys continue to be interested in this conversation, but I just want to say this so that you guys understand this. When we do Slasher Movie Club, or if we ever talk about any movie, we rewatch it, and, Corey and I do it together. A lot of times, we might kind of touch upon some things that we're thinking, I'm usually geeking out or whatever. But, when we talk to you guys, it's unscripted. We don't have a script in front of us. We're just speaking from our heart. But I'm gonna tell you what, and this happens a lot. I just want to give you a lot of credit, dear, because
Mhm.
what you just said, it really made me just look at it totally different.
Mm.
And I just want to thank you for that. And that was deep. That was
Mm.
really deep. So thank you so much. I just wanted to say that to you,
Aw. You're
live.
welcome, babe.
Yeah,
You're
I mean,
welcome.
but it's true. It's like when her mother kind of came down, that was it. The foundation of the house, and Carrie has no control of her powers, and basically she goes in the closet with her mother to die, and she dies with her mother. Um,
Yeah.
it's so
Go to
sad.
hell.
It's so sad. And then of course,
Yeah.
the last scene we see um Sue, who is laying in bed, and the mother is taking care of her, obviously, from all this ordeal, because Sue was the only one that
Which
was
is nuts to
yeah,
think
was the
that
only one that's saved because Miss Collins
right.
pushed her out of the gymnasium and shut the door. Miss
Yeah.
Collins saved Sue Snell, basically.
Yeah,
Um,
she did.
and what was smart, again, Brian De Palma is smart from A to Z, all the way through the end of this film here. We see the mother get a phone call, and the mother's talking about, Sue is still recuperating. I didn't let her go to any of the funerals, blah, blah, blah. And as she's talking, it fades to this scene where Sue is walking down the sidewalk, and she's going to where Carrie's house was, and she's looking at it, and it's just an empty mound, and it has a cross there. And we see a picture of the cross, and it's a for sale cross. And of course, people are still being assholes saying Carrie
Right.
White burns in hell. And Korean, I'm gonna tell you what. Now, again, well, I'm gonna get to this in a second, but this ending freaked me out because Sue is looking
Oh,
at the
man.
cross. There's this beautiful music. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's going
Mhm.
on for like 40 seconds, and you can see a tear in Sue's eyes. So it's making you think of the fact that she tried to do something nice for Carrie, and it all backfired. And
Right?
perhaps now she's going to kind of make amends. And then, as she leans down to put the flowers right in front of the cross, Carrie's head comes out of the ground and grabs her. Holy shit. What a jump
Oh,
scare.
shoot.
Earned, too. Earned, by the way. And then we realize, Coriander, that Sue is having a nightmare.
Yep.
Having a nightmare. She's hysterical, shades of Sally Hardesty at the end of TCM, or Chris
Yeah.
at the end of Friday 13th Part 3. But what I wanted to say is, Sean
Right.
Cunningham had to have some inspiration for Friday the 13th, because that ending is very reminiscent of this. And of course, Friday came out 4 years after this. What an ending. What an ending. And so the
Yep.
sad part to me about this ending, and then I'm going to ask you, Coriander, the sad part about this ending to me is that for Sue, it's almost as if she tried to make amends through the movie. It totally backfired. And even in her subconscious, when she's trying to make amends with Carrie, who's dead, she can't
Mhm.
do that. Like, she's never going to overcome this guilt. What do you think of that as an ending?
Um, yeah, man. I mean, it's suitable. It's a good
It is.
ending.
It
It's
is.
like I think it's you gotta love it when you hear people, "Oh my god, it got me."
Yeah,
Because
it got
yeah,
me. Did it get you at first? You
I
were a
can't
kid.
remember. I know,
Okay.
and I can't remember if it did or not, but I know after watching it, no, you know? So,
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. And
yeah.
Gore, I agree, brother. We should always go unscripted. It keeps it real. It keeps it real, and we love talking with you guys and interacting with you guys and hopefully giving some real insight to this film because both of us are so passionate about it. And so I
It's one
agree,
of my
brother.
favorites of, like, all time. Like,
Absolutely.
if I had to pick 5 movies to bring with me because it's the end of the world and I could just pick 5, this would be one of them.
There you go. There you
Mhm.
go. Double feature saying it was the close of a chapter. Her mother is gone and she resigns herself to her fate. Absolutely. It's very poetic. There's no doubt about it. It was a great jump scare as well. Um, and the ending, you don't expect it. You really don't, because you're so wrapped up in Sue and feeling bad for Carrie and kind of feeling bad that Sue tried to do a great thing and it almost worked out. um, it's just a very, very
Yeah.
tragic ending. The irony of it all. T also
Mm.
saying yes, the best jump scare ever. And absolutely, Gore. I think Sean was definitely inspired by this. Um, Sue being left with all this trauma. I agree.
That would suck, man. I couldn't imagine, you know? I couldn't imagine.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Nightfall saying I saw this movie when I was around 5 or 6 years old. Couldn't watch it again until I was an adult because the ending scared me so bad. I'm there
Aw,
with you.
that's
I'm there
cute.
with you. Tia saying it is a desert
Oh,
island movie for sure. Yeah, double
yeah.
feature saying the same. Absolutely. And we also had Jason asking, or I should say, commenting, I'm going to try my best to make it Friday, but we'll be traveling. How can I contribute to Craven? If not there, can I submit something before or after? Most likely we'll be able to be there. Yeah, we can't, or at least we're not doing anything beforehand. And a lot of that is I'm just still there's so many moving parts, guys. So I just want to really express that, we really wanted to make sure we could have as many people um be there and also being respectful to the family. I will be putting out more information as I get it to folks. So
And
just
that night,
stay
even if you can't, like, stay, there'll be a link.
there
So
will be a link.
if you
It will,
wanna like, Jason asked, I think, about, like, donating, there's a
yeah,
link
we'll
that will
we'll
be
have
up
the link.
that night. Yeah,
Yep.
that I know you're traveling, but if you could screenshot it real quick or, just when you're at some point where you could just pause and take a quick screenshot.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll
We
have it and you could send it. Yeah.
My plan is to maybe even have that before the live stream. We'll see. Again, there's a lot of planning to this, guys. So just please, just understand that. But we're going to try to make it very special, and there will be a replay. And there's other things that we're trying to do this month for Horrortober. We've officially started Horrortober. There's a couple of other things that we've got planned special for this month that I'm not going to reveal right now, but stay tuned. You guys that are channel members and Patreon members, you guys, as always, are going to find out about these things first. I'll be having communication with you guys because it's just easier to do that, especially on
Mm,
Patreon. And it just makes it easier for me because if you guys can just imagine how many people that have to message and communicate with. So, that's the easiest way, to kind of communicate information, but we will. Um, so the only other thing I wanted to say, this movie is just so amazing. And we wanted to talk about this in the sense of saying, is this still an iconic film or is it
mm,
too old? Is it a relic? Because some people will say, well, it's really
mm-mm,
slow or this that.
mm,
My answer to that, and then I'll get to you, Coriander, I just think that it's a drama that has these horror elements that are weaved all throughout it.
mm,
And that's the magic of it because the story is so universal. Being
right,
bullied, being isolated, feeling like you're a loner or an underdog. The only difference
mm,
is this particular underdog has telekinesis as a power. But
yeah,
if you think about it, this movie is very much doing things that like A24 films have done in the last 10 or 15 years. You know what I mean? Like Brian De Palma was doing this, 49 years ago, 50 years ago. So I just think that it's really cool that this movie is able to be that powerful because of the story first. How do you feel
Mhm.
about that, Coriander?
Oh, yeah, I mean, this movie's definitely it's gonna last forever, it's an icon,
Yeah,
just because, like you were saying, it hits all the points, it's not like your typical horror movie,
yeah,
it's not like some goon behind a mask going around killing, you
right.
know, it's got a story that has heart and,
Yeah,
it's just yeah. I mean, Stephen King, he's good anyway, and when you get that mixed in with a good director who knows what they're doing and the
yep,
direction they wanna take it, and you
yep.
get these great actors and actresses that just hit it. I mean, you got gold if you do it right, and this is gold, and it's gonna last forever.
Well said. Well said. It's just one of those special, special types of movies. It really is. Gore's getting ready to head on out. Thank you so much, man. We
Yeah,
appreciate
have
you
a good
being here tonight,
night.
man. It was great seeing you. Seriously.
Right?
But
Yeah,
before we get done, we have to score this film. And as you guys know, we like to do it with our
yeah.
badge system. So just to remind you guys, and we want you guys to let us know what's the score you want to give Carrie. We've got 4 badges, which means we think the film is excellent. It's a must watch. And if you can, you should own it on physical media. We've got 3 badges, meaning that we think it's pretty good. It's all right. 2 badges means that you could take it or you could leave it. And the dreaded 1 badge means that it is absolutely horrendous. We like to call it dark territory, AKA
AKA.
student bodies, AKA don't go in the woods alone,
Ooh.
AKA blood cult, AKA good night, God bless. And if you don't know about those movies that I did the AKA on, check
And
out
there's
our
more
Slasher Movie Club
AKAs.
playlist.
Exactly.
Come on, man. Let me finish that. All right, Coriander. What
Oh, shit.
what's the score you're gonna give Carrie from
Oh
1976?
god, it's getting 4.
All right, you're going with 4. For
Yeah.
me, I think that this film, I watched it this time. I couldn't tell you how many times I've watched it since I was a little boy. It
Right?
really, it was really special. I'm so glad that we did this
Mhm.
film.
Same.
You're the one that said let's do
I had to
Carrie next.
convince you,
You
man.
did.
I had
You
to convince you
You
live.
well, listen, part of the reason that you had to convince me is because if anyone has been around this channel long enough, they already know that you absolutely love this film. What I wanted to do was talk about the wonderful
Right?
things, and I didn't know that they were gonna happen, but I wanted to talk about the wonderful things that I realized about this film that I never realized before and
Mhm.
how it's still speaking so strongly to me in 2025. But I
Yeah.
agree with you. This
Well,
has to
like I'm
be 4
saying,
badges.
you know
So
yeah.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, finish your thought,
Well, no, I'm
dude.
just saying it's 4
No, I'm just
badges.
saying.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, right. This time around with this Slasher Movie Club, because who knows how long it's gonna be here. We should do our favorites. We should talk Halloween. We should talk a Friday. We should talk
Don't let's
a
not give it all
nightmare.
away.
Well, I'm just saying we've got so many that we avoided our first round that I'm not gonna avoid this round.
Right.
So there you go,
Well,
baby.
let me explain that so that people that have no clue what we've done here
Well,
can
let them
understand it. When
click
we did
on
it
to the let
originally,
them dude, you should send them. Don't ruin it. Go to
well
our first movie slasher club ever, and you will learn why. Keep it a mystery, babe.
well
Keep it a
well
mystery.
Well, let me just say this.
Dude,
No, because
dude.
not everyone gets a chance to get the full story. We originally did it because of the slashers that we blindly picked out of the Teenage Slasher Handbook. And we
Okay,
intentionally
don't say
wanted
anything else.
well, hold on. We intentionally
Mm,
wanted to talk about films that we didn't get a chance to talk about, or we avoided films that we talked about all the time. So that was kind of the whole
yeah.
reason of that. But real quick,
But
Chuck,
those movies are obviously mentioned in that book. But
they
we
are
because if you're gonna go, yeah, because if you're gonna go into it, well, so am I then, because I'm the
okay.
one who. went through that book and picked out all those movies that y'all watched that first round of Slash Movie Club.
All right, real
So
quick.
yeah, man. Yeah.
Chuck is going with 4 badges. We got
Nice.
Sarah that has us at 30 likes. We appreciate that.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Kelly says 4 badges. The themes are universal and still exist today, which
Oh
is so
yeah.
true.
Bullying is gonna forever exist. Forever
That's right.
exist.
Nightfall says he's going with 4 badges. And we got Jason coming in with another super chat. Thank you so much, man. The Night Watch Zone is where you separate the apples from the oranges. Amen to that, brother.
Much
We
love.
appreciate you.
Right?
Thank you. So guys, that's all we have for Carrie. It's just a fantastic movie, and if you haven't seen it ever, you really should check it out and just be ready for a really great story
Good movie.
that can pull you in, adapted from a
Yep.
Stephen King novel. But it's just so well done. It really, really is. And if you haven't seen it in a while, check it out because I really enjoyed it myself. I really, really did. And welcome to Snipes coming in. Check out this replay, man, from the beginning. This has been so much fun. David also going with 4 badges. Samantha says 5. and this is the link for Coriander, Samantha, just to let you know, right here on the Night Watch Zone.
Yeah, I'm a part
right
of the
here.
Night Watch Zone. Yeah.
That is right.
Yes.
Absolutely. And Double Feature saying came in late, so looking forward to watching the whole episode on replay. Absolutely. We appreciate that. So for you guys, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. It helps to support us so much. We'd appreciate it. And also in the comments, let's talk about Carrie. We don't see a lot of people talking about Carrie. Obviously, it's an old school classic, but we feel as though it's still so powerful.
So good. Right?
It is.
It is. Right?
There's no doubt about it at all. JPEG, hope to see you soon. Thank you so much for jumping in. David saying, hopefully we can do Christine. You never know. You never know.
I just jumped on board with Christine. I was always like a hater of that movie till last watch party we did, or the last time we had to watch it for something.
Yeah, a redemption watch.
Yeah, it was like, well, yeah, okay, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about. Good for you, man. Good for you. All right, guys. Well, look, we appreciate y'all being here. We will catch you guys next time. I'll be on tomorrow night, and we will continue to talk about our Friday special event for Craving Something Scary. So stay tuned on social media, community posts, Patreon. We want to get everyone involved and honor our brother the best way we can. And right at the end, Jason, thank you so much for the super chat. Shout out to Phantasm. Stay tuned, Jason. You never know. We might be talking about that on Slasher Movie Club. So we will be catching you guys next time. As always, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace.
Boy.